Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Diana. We talk about FlyLady things here. We talk about Diane in Denmark, who also does the FlyLady system. She does it her own way. We talk about Steph, who is the secret slob. We talk about all their different systems because everybody does it their own way. And I'm starting to think that I'm morphing this into my own way. So who knows, maybe someday I'll do my own printable. You just never know. I have no idea how to do that. But maybe with Spencer's help, maybe I could come up with something sometime. But in the meantime, I still love Steph, thesecretslob.com, thesecretslob.com. I love her printables. This one is the months in the FlyLady system, the weeks are a little strange. So at the very beginning of the week, we were in zone 1 for like half a second. So basically, I think Monday, and maybe if you clean your house any on Sunday, you could have done zone 1. I'm just going to tell you, I completely just sort of skipped over zone 1, and it wasn't that I didn't do it because I cleaned. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I cleaned most of my house on Sunday afternoon, and I took a little bit of a chunk of time and did some cleaning, and I set my timer because I wanted to tell you how long it took me to do all this, and we'll get to that in a minute. But so basically we were, like I said, we were in zone 1 for about half a second if you're following the FlyLady system. So basically Monday, and if you work on it on the weekends, maybe on Sunday you could have done it. And then the rest of this week we're in zone 1. Did I say? Let me back up for a minute. Monday we would have been in zone 5. Zone 5. I totally said that wrong. My last video, I was crazy, and this one is starting out crazy. The first day of the week, which was the end of the month, the very end of the month, we would be in zone 5. And then at the beginning of the month, so now we're in September, you would be in zone 1. So the first week is zone 1, the second week is zone 2, and on and so forth. So at the very, very end of September, we will be back in zone 5. And let me just tell you what that is, because I can't keep up with it either. On Steph's cleaning schedule, which is a little bit different from the FlyLady system, her zone 5 is the living room and the hall. So living room for you might be a den, it might be a family room, or you might have a living room. If you've got both, if you have a living room and a family room, you just might want to pick one. And then zone 1, so most of the focus for this week would have been in zone 1, and that is entry and dining. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did instead of this. As I've been doing these videos, these zones are starting to confuse me. And somebody was so sweet, I think it was on the last video, it was the one before, they explained the zones to me. I've done FlyLady for a long time, and I still don't get it, okay? And I ended up telling you in August we were on the wrong zone the entire month. So probably what's going to end up happening is I may just scrap this whole zone system completely, because honestly, the more we discuss it on here, the more confused I get. And maybe it's because I'm combining Steph's system with FlyLady's system. If I just got on the FlyLady website, which by the way, you can do it anytime. If I don't do a video and you want to know what zone we're in, all you got to do is get on FlyLady.net. And she's got everything. She has something called a flight plan on there that you can click on. I think first you have to go to Launchpad. It's a little confusing. First you go to Launchpad, then you click on the flight plan. It'll tell you exactly what to do for the day. There's also, I think, a tab that talks about missions, and those are the daily missions for the week. So you can always go there if you have no idea what zone you're supposed to be in, or just pick a room in your house. That's we could just do it that way. But I'm just going to talk about, instead of worrying about this, I'll show you the zone cleaning. Okay, so if you want to do zone 1, which is entry and dining, then that's what this is. You could do a screenshot of that, and that'll tell you exactly what you need to be doing. Okay, and then if you wanted to do zone 5 instead, which was the living room and the hall, we don't actually have a hall here, so you could say living room. If you don't have a hallway, we have an entry hall, but entry hall is zone 1. So living room and hall, you could do living room and an office, living room and your laundry room, living room and an extra bedroom, you know, or if you had a living room and a den, something like that. Okay, so those, if you wanted to focus on that, but I don't really want to talk about that today. But that, if you screenshot that, I can't even talk. If you did a screenshot of that, then you know exactly what to work on. And like we've always talked about, you do not need to do every single one of these tasks every time we're in the zone. You just, you know, maybe pick 2 or 3, work on those. And then I've also got some tools I'm going to show you, some things that I've bought recently, some tools that I like, some other tools, and we'll get to that. But let's talk first about what did I do. So a lot of times on Sunday, you know, we get up early, we go to church, I have my makeup done. My hair is not done today, but you know, generally I'm up, I'm moving, my hair is done, my makeup's done, I've got, you know, dress clothes on. When I get home, I'm usually a little, I want a nap, and I don't like to take naps because that messes up my whole week. So what I end up doing so I can stay awake is, by the way, if you want a nap, that's fine. That's a me thing. I don't do well with napping because then I can't sleep. So I really like to sleep at night, so I skip the naps. I try to, unless I'm sick or something. I really try to skip the nap. So anyway, that was the whole nap thing. Instead of taking a nap, I will feel like I'm so exhausted and I can't keep my eyes open any longer. So I grab my vacuum cleaner and I start running around the house with it. And that will get me some energy. That way I've got some energy, exercising a little bit. It gets me going, and then I can do a few other tasks. So basically what I ended up doing, I thought, you know, for my audience, we only have about 43, 44 people here. It's not a huge audience, which is fine. It's not a big deal. I'm just speaking to whoever's here, but it's just a small group of us. Let's just talk about how I do it and how long it takes me. So generally, when I am cleaning, I am not in a huge rush, okay? But when you set a timer, you're gonna move a lot faster. So on Sunday, I decided I'm gonna set a timer because I want my people to know what can you actually get done in a 15-minute time. Now, with the vacuuming, I wanted to get most of the house done. I don't think I did every single room, but I did just about every room, and I may have set the Roomba down in a couple small rooms. I can't remember now, but I can't remember if I did them or if the Roomba did them. But sometimes I'll set the Roomba down in my bathroom, which is a small room, or maybe in Spencer's bathroom, which is right next to me, which is also very small, or the kitchen, which also isn't just huge. And I'll just let Roomba run, and then I can mop when that gets done. So Roomba may have done a couple of rooms, but I did most of it. And what I did was I set my timer for 15 minutes to see how much I could get done. I think I got about 5 rooms done, and the rooms are pretty good size. We don't have really small rooms. We have a sunroom that's pretty small, but there are people whose 3rd bedroom is the size of, or maybe a little bit smaller than, a little bit larger than our sunroom. That's the smallest room we have. And so it's probably not even, it may only be 6 by 8, but you know, there's people who have bedrooms, small bedrooms, they're only 10 by 10. I know, because we've all been to houses and looked at houses, and if you're going to buy a house, you have to look at houses to do that. And so we've all looked on, you know, websites at houses or whatever, and we've all seen that there's extra bedrooms here, and they're only 8 by 10 or 10 by 10. They're small. So my point being, most of our rooms are quite a bit larger than that. Our house is about 2,600 square feet, just to give you an idea. We do have some wasted space. Like, I've seen other houses, and it's like they have, in a 2,600 square foot house, they have like 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. And I'm sitting here going, how do you do that? We have like 3 bedrooms, I think. We've changed our rooms around, so I can't even really say. I think we would have, if we did them like bedrooms, there would be 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. We do not have 4 bedrooms here, and we do not have, I'm just like, how would you have 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms? But anyway, doesn't matter. Just all that to tell you that I think our rooms probably aren't set up to where we're utilizing the space quite as well as we could, and that's okay. We don't care because it's just the 2 of us. Okay, so as I was running through with the timer on the 15 minutes, I think in about 15 minutes I got probably 4 or 5 rooms done. And then I had several other rooms I needed to do. So I just went ahead and set the timer again. And I think probably I got the majority of the house done in about 35 minutes. At one point, the timer ran out. I think I didn't realize it. And I didn't reset it. I had one more room to do, so I just did it. So let's just say 35 minutes, and I did most of the house. which is a pretty big deal. We don't have carpet. We just, we've got 2 bathrooms with little throw rugs. So I'm not having to deal with carpets, and I do have a pretty good sized rug in my den, but you know, my vacuum does really good with hardwood or laminate or whatever to carpet. So it's not like I'm having to change stuff out, and I've got the thing plugged in, but I was gonna say I will show you my vacuum if I can keep from tearing everything up here, tearing things down. This is a Shark. I'm gonna have to move out of the frame for just a second so I can get it up here. Everybody's leaving now. Ranger thinks I'm gonna start the vacuum, so he's getting up. Okay, so here's my Shark. Whoop, there's the head for the Shark. And then it looks like this. It's a Shark Rocket Duo Clean. You see right here, Shark Rocket Duo Clean. It's got a lot of dirt in there. I just did it all again. We have lots of pets, and so I just ran through and vacuumed almost the entire house again. Now, here's the thing. If I can get this undone. Hang on a second. Okay, this has tools with it, but you don't want to put this down on the floor. It is plastic, but you don't want to like scrape the floor with it. And it probably wouldn't even hurt the floor, but we have hardwood floors. We did the floors ourselves as far as the polyurethane, so we know the floors are done properly, which is a good thing. And so this doesn't really scrape my floors, but it could scrape yours, so you might want to use the tool that comes with it. But for me, I just take that head off of here and I put this into the corners. So like there's a piece of furniture in front of me, and it has, you know, just about this much space in between the wall and that piece of furniture, and I just take that off with my foot. There's like a little lever. It's very easy. I take it off with my foot and I stick that in the corner there, and it gets the cat hair, or if there's maybe a spider web or, you know, cobweb or something, you can just stick it in the little nooks and crannies. So I even did nooks and crannies in the 35 minutes. I didn't do every single nook and cranny in 35 minutes, but I did quite a bit. I remember doing that. So I was running around vacuuming quickly, but I was getting quite a bit done. I went under the beds, you know, and I may not have gotten all the way under the bed because we do have a king size. One is a king size and one's a queen size. So I may not have gotten every single nook and cranny under the bed, but the point is, it was a pretty good thorough clean. I wasn't moving a ton of furniture around, but I don't have to, because when I take that apart, then I'm able to get into small spaces. And so, and you may prefer an upright, but I like this a lot better. And this is what the head looks like. I've showed this in another video, but, and so you can see it's all banged up. I've used this forever, for quite a long time. These have, and see where it's got like a little release where you can get the brushes out. And there's the other side, but you can see you can get this under the bed pretty easily. So that's that. Also, this is a FlyLady tool. My mom actually got me this. You can get up in the corners with this. Now we have some 12-foot ceilings. Our house was built in 1890, so we have different. The ceilings are weird. Some of the rooms are 12 feet, some are 10 feet, and we have a couple that are 8 feet. And you know, that's just the way it is. And so, okay, my mom got me this. So this has a short handle. You can actually get the long handle with FlyLady. Hers is a long handle, mine's a short handle. So I actually don't use this a ton. You could use this on the really big, you can use this on your blinds, like if you have, especially if you have really big slats. I was about to say flats. It's not flats, it's slats. The big slats, the larger, not the 1-inch ones, but you could actually kind of brush this down, the 1-inch ones, but it's easier to use something else on those. But you could use this on your blinds if you wanted to. You can use it in the corners if you can reach it, or if you have the longer pole. And like I said, my mom just gave me this. I think she probably got to buy one, get one, and she got the big pole for her, which is fine. I didn't need it, and I'm going to show you what I use. Okay, so the reason I don't use this much is because I have something else. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just because I'm short and the ceilings aren't 8 feet. I need something longer, and I'm going to show you what it is. It is a Libman, L-I-B-M-A-N. This is it right here. Libman mop. This is a microfiber. I'm going to cover my face up. Microfiber cloth, okay, that goes on it. It is a dust cloth. I mean, a dust mop. It's a dust mop. It's not a dust cloth. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm crazy. It's a dust mop. Now, I do not dust mop with this, okay? You see how clean this is? I do not use this on the floor. That's why it's so clean. It was a little bit dingy, and I put it in the washer. Now, the only downside to this that I've ever seen is this is a little locking mechanism, and for some reason, it seems like it's locking really well, and I think I've just had it long enough that it's not locking as well as it should. So it sometimes comes out of this, and while you're using it, it does this number. This is my only thing about this I do not like. So if you found a one-piece one you liked better, the reason this is like this is because you need to be able to get this on. So I'm gonna struggle here just for a second putting this on off camera, because if I do it on camera, we'll never get it on. It's not hard to get on, but the reason it opens like that is so you can slip the little cover over, and then when you finish slipping the cover over, you do that, but again, it has become a little bit loose. So what ends up happening is sometimes I'm using it and it becomes loose. Now, I wonder if I can show you behind me what I do with it. And if you'd be able to see anything. You see right here? Okay. Yeah, you can. Oh, this is great. I can sit here and show you. Okay, so I don't use it on my floors. I use it on my walls. We have cats. We have a dog. If you don't have pet dander, you might not need it, although I've worked for a lot of people who had no pets who had lots of dust on their walls. If you're running ceiling fans, the ceiling fans will collect the dust, and if you don't clean them, they will be throwing dust to the walls. And you may just have dust for other reasons. So I strictly only use this on my walls, and I go up and down like this, and see, I'm sitting here. This is only, I think this room's 10 feet. But I'm sitting here, and I can get all the way, you can even see it's out of the frame, but I'm all the way to the top now. Okay, and so I just very simply go up and down, and I can even go over this. You can't really see the picture, but I can go over the picture. And here is the frame of the window. I can go over that and get that. Okay, so anyway, you get the idea. Here, let me do it further down so you can see. And you just go up and down. And you don't spend a lot of time, but you just go around your room and clean your walls off. Now, this is not something that you do every week. I don't do this very often. I may only do it twice a year. But because we have cat hair, we both have allergies. That's why we don't have carpets. We only have hardwood for the most part. We just have those, we have like one little carpet, one little rug. I mean, I think it's like a, gosh, is it even a, it might be 8 by 10. I don't even think it's that big. It may be. But anyway, I like to use this on the wall only, never on the floor, because I've got this good vacuum for the floor. I don't need it on the floor. But if I were gonna use it on the floor, I would get a separate mop head, because I don't ever want this mop head on my floor. Even though I can wash it, I want to stay very, very, very clean, because I'm gonna be cleaning my walls with it. And I feel like the walls are a lot cleaner than the floor. Okay, if that doesn't make sense to you, I don't know. It's just one of my things that I do. Okay, so, but that is one way you can get spiders down. And even like, I even use it on a light fixture. When I walked in here, I noticed there was one little strand of spider web on each side of my light fixture in here, which I thought was funny. So while I had that pole in my hand, I was like, I think I'll knock that down. That keeps you from having to climb on a ladder for every little thing. You can do this, like this window frame that's behind me. You can do that. You can do the corners. If you just wanted to run around and just do the corners, or if you wanted to just go around the ceiling line all the way around, you wouldn't have to do the walls. But that's something that you can do. You can add that to your list of things that you do once in a while. It doesn't have to be like every single week or every time you're in the zone, but just every once in a while, get those spider webs and cobwebs and stuff out of our corners and off the ceilings and stuff like that. All right, let me get a little sip of water here. I'm going to show you one other thing. Okay, those are my tools. I'll show you what else I've been doing. If I can reach this without tearing it up. Okay, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. Hang on. I gotta pull this stuff closer. Hang on. Just hang on just a second. Okay, so I bought a whole bunch of these at Dollar Tree. I was able to find, these are only $1 obviously because they came from Dollar Tree. I was able to find 19 of these. These are good size. As you can see, it's taking up the whole frame. They're short. They've got taller ones. These happen to be shorter. I thought, you know what? I bet I can organize a closet with these. So they had 19 in this color, and I thought, I can do a lot with that. And it's inside a closet. It's behind a door that's shut. So I really don't care what color it is. And I love bright colors. And I didn't really want white. They may have had a few white, but they didn't have 19, which is, I ended up getting 19. I got every one of these that they had. So anyway, I spent $19, obviously. I had bought these before. I've used most of these for a project I had in a small closet. You can write on this, and look at this. This is so cool. You can write directly on here. This is a chalk pen. They sell these. This is called Craft Decor Chalk Writer. They have that at Dollar Tree, so that was only $1. I'll tell you the downsides of this. The downside of this is, you see how fat that is? I would much rather, if you can see, I would much rather that be a fine point, because when you write on here, I'll just show you. So on one of mine, I put supplement, so just sups. So the good news is it wipes right off, although you actually need wet something, so I've just made a mess here. Hang on. Okay. Well, phooey. Okay, see, this is what I don't like about it. You see my first S messed up pretty much? Well, that's supposed to say subs. Anyway, like supplements. Okay, so it got a little messed up. So in that event, that's what I don't like about it, because it's too fat. Okay. But they have these chalkboard tags. These are also $1. It was a 6-pack, or 6 pieces, it says. I used a bunch of them, so I'm just going to show you what's left here. Hang on. I got 2 different ones. These, is that the one I have left? Oh, I only have one. Okay. So I think I figured out that it's got 2 different sides, and this side was a smoother side. So I think I figured out, if you're gonna write on it with this pen, write on the smoother side. I think this side it didn't come out looking very good. But this is so cool. You can wipe the chalk off with like a damp paper towel or a damp rag. Now, it did take some of the black from the tag off, but I was still able to reuse it. So if you screwed up and you wanted to reuse your tag, you could do that. Or like I said, you could, try to write on here. Another thing you can do on here, I had bought different color permanent markers. They weren't paint pens, but they were like just the regular, I'm losing it, just a regular permanent ink I cannot talk. Permanent ink pens, and I wrote, not on here, but on these tags. Sorry, I didn't write on there, I wrote on these tags. And so that was permanent. You can't get that off. I don't think. I didn't try. It's permanent pen, so I don't think you can. All right, now let me show you what I did with those. So I put supplements and stuff in there in my kitchen, and in well, actually I used those in 3 different areas. I bought 2 different colors, and unfortunately I didn't get enough of one color to use all in one place. So anyway, my kitchen, I've got 2 different colors. That's okay. Again, it's behind cabinet doors, but when I open my cabinets now, it's so organized, and I can just pull it out and look at this, and I know what I'm doing. Okay, so look at all these leggings I was able to fit in this thing. This is the one I just showed you. You see how large that is? I've put a ton of leggings. I've got them rolled up. This is how the KonMari system, you can kind of roll things so you can see what you have. And then I labeled it. So it says leggings. And so that's one of the tags. And then it's got the little string on it. And so I just pulled it through here and pulled the knot more than once so it would stay. Otherwise it'll start coming undone. And I've got it labeled leggings. And then I did several, but this one's got t-shirts in it. So I've got all different colored t-shirts, and actually this is stacked. There's more stacked under there. You can see I don't want it to all fall, but there's extras. So this whole thing is stacked full of t-shirts, and then it just says shirts. So when I go in my closet, I can just pull out, if I want a pair of leggings for the day, I can just pull that out and go, oh, which legging do I want to wear, and which shirt do I want to wear with it? Okay, so that is the new organizational thing that I'm doing. Just learned that on a YouTube video. Very simple, not difficult, or actually a compilation of many videos, I should say. All right, and so where did my sheets of paper go? There they are, they're on the floor. So that's pretty much it for today. I gotta get my sheets off the floor. So again, we did we did a zone 1 and then zone 5 if you wanted to do zone 5 as well. I totally forgot what I was talking about. Okay, so it took me about 35 minutes to do the vacuuming. I set my timer for 15 minutes and I dusted. Now, I did not dust my entire house in 15 minutes, but I got a huge chunk of it done, and that even included the door facings on both sides. It included some baseboards, not all. So I did a large chunk of my house with baseboards and doors in 15 minutes, no kidding. And see, also while you were dusting, you could take this along the door facings. So you wouldn't even need your dust cloth for that. You could just run that across the doors if you wanted to. That would also work, something like that. You don't have to have that. You can buy something like it. I think that I set the timer for 15 minutes and worked on one of the bathrooms. And I do that swish and swipe just about every day. And then this bathroom right here next to me is Spencer's bathroom. I do not swish and swipe in his every day. He's very neat, very clean. I usually just look at it once or twice a week. And so I think I ended up cleaning pretty much his entire bathroom. And it had been like a week since I'd been in there and cleaned it. And so I set the timer, and I think I set it for 15. I think I got it done in 10 or 11. I think that's right. And even if it's 15, you're talking about a 15-minute time to clean a bathroom. So I can't remember. It was either 10 or 15 minutes. Either way, it's a small chunk of time. And I also wet one of these cloths that I've talked about many times before, and I cleaned the mirrors and the windows. The mirrors and the windows. I set the timer, I think, for 15 minutes and ran around. I couldn't even tell you how many mirrors and windows I did. Let's see, we have like 3 different mirrors. We have 2 bathrooms mirrors. We have a dresser with a mirror. And then I did a bunch of windows, and I even went outside and did some windows. I did all that in 15 minutes. So it is amazing what you can get done if you just set your timer. But again, I use something like this. I think I actually used the little ones. I love these little ones. These are FlyLady cloths. You do not have to have these. What I tend to do is just fold this up and dampen it. And then if you wanted to do it wet, go ahead, instead of just damp, do it wet. You could do that. And then you could carry another one with you and dry it. That's what actually FlyLady says to do. She says get one wet and one dry, and then wipe. But to me, it's a lot of work to do that because I just want to get it done. So I just dampen it and just use one. And if you don't get it overly wet, you won't need to dry it. If you do, you're going to either need this or you're going to need some paper towels with you, a dry cloth or some paper towels. So I think what I ended up doing was taking my paper towels around with me. Again, if you want to know what I dust with, typically I just use something like this. This is a lint-free dust cloth. That is what you want to look for if you're going to get a cloth. There's lots of things you can dust with, but these are lint-free. I've had these for years. They wash up really good. You know, it's starting to fray a little bit, but that's okay. That's not a problem. I can still use it. So I just run around and dust with that. I use these. I didn't bring the mop in here, but I have a lemon mop that you can just spray and mop. You can put plain water. You could put vinegar in it. It has a little area that you can't even talk. A little area you put water in, and you could have just water. You could add vinegar. You could add just like a cap full of cleaner to it. You could add just a drop of Dawn. If you're going to use Dawn, you just need a little. But here's some of the mop pads, and these work great, and this is what I mop with. So anyway, that's just the stuff that I have had in here that I've shown you before that I use. All right, that's all I've got for you today. I know that was a jumbled mess, and I hope you have a great weekend. We got a long weekend coming up. I hope you have something great and fun planned to do. Spencer's birthday's coming up. Yay! I don't have really anything huge planned for that, but he's a really laid back guy, and I don't think he cares. So anyway, happy birthday to Spencer. He will be, should I tell you? He'll be 51, and I'm already 51, so happy birthday to him. I hope he has a great birthday, long weekend. That's a great thing about his weekend. It's always a long weekend, or his birthday, it always falls around the Labor Day weekend. So anyway, love to all you guys. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. Bye.